Hi guys, Master Andy here, Coach Ethan. So today we're going to talk about controlling the distance. There's a saying, whoever controls the distance controls the damage. And one of the things about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu that makes it so powerful is it's not necessary to hurt the other person. You can just control them if you need to. So the first thing we'll talk about in terms of damage. So if we're in our stance, he has his right foot back. You want to switch around, take a small step back. So if we're in our stance at this distance, if he throws like a cross or just a hard punch, this is going to be a solid punch. This is a punch that's going to hurt. Now instead, of course, if I'm out here, I'm safe. He can't reach me. Or my other best option is actually to be in here. If I'm in this distance, he can still hit me in the head. He can still try to hurt me. But I'm going to be much safer here than out here where the punches are going to have power. The same rule applies for the ground. Put my side on your back. So if we're in the mount position, move one more step this way. If we're in the mount position, from here, my punches have tremendous power. If instead, go and push on my back, he drives me down to the floor, well now his head is closer to me. I'm actually using my hands so that I don't hit my head on the ground myself and keep my balance. But now these punches, they're still going to hurt, but this isn't going to knock him out. This isn't going to end the fight. Same thing from the guard. If you want to just roll me over. Guard. So from the guard position, a little angle here. So from the guard, same thing. If he has distance, he's going to be able to punch and hit with power. Instead, if I pull him in close from this position here, he could still hurt me, but this isn't going to end the fight. This is something that I can survive with and I can deal with. So the first thing is managing the distance. Now, even though 90%, or at least that's the stat they give, 90% of all fights end up on the ground, almost all of them start standing up. So we need to have a basic plan or a basic approach on how we're going to get in and close the distance and how we're going to get the fight to the ground. So an exercise that we'll start with, from my stance, I'm just going to move my front leg first, one, and I'm just going to slide the back leg in. So my feet just move 1, 2. When I move back, opposite. Back foot moves first. So this is just basic footwork, moving forward and back. Now the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my head off the center line, and I'm going to move my head to the side and down at the same time that I'm sliding in. So I'm just getting my head off that center line. And a way I can practice with my partner, he's just going to hold his hand out straight ahead. This allows me to measure the distance. I want to be able to reach his hand. Now, of course, I can't go straight into his hand. Now, right now we're using this to show us where a punch would be, but if he was actually throwing a punch, he throws his punch, this is why my head has to get off that center line so I'm not getting hit directly in the face with that punch. So his arm's stretched out so I can just get used to measuring distance. Now from here, I'm moving my head, stepping and sliding in. I'm going to lock my hands together, but I can't leave my head down because he'll start to wrap my head, and now I have a bunch of new problems. So instead, once I'm in this position, I'm going to fix my posture and lift my head up. This way, if he's trying to wrap around my neck, it's just very difficult for him to get that position. So once again, I want to check the distance, move in, head up, good posture. Now, from here, I might be worried about him kneeing. So one of the things I can do is I can actually pinch my legs together. So this front leg he has, he's not going to be able to strike me with it. If he tries using the back leg, it's now going to be very easy for me to set up my takedown because he's not going to have any balance. So once again, we're just going to close the distance, get a good secure position. Now from here, maybe I didn't really want to be in a fight. It actually gives me the option of just kind of pushing the guy away. I can run off and I'm going to be all right. So first thing we have to do is control the distance. So from that position, the way we're going to end up getting the fight to the ground, I'm spinning around here. So I have my hands locked. I'm controlling his hips. Now one option I have, hooking the leg. I don't like using this option from this position unless you're very careful, because what we don't want is his head or his shoulder driving our head to the floor. What I mean is, we'll move it back just a little bit. When I hook his leg to pull him down, I have to be careful of this. That's something that I don't want to have happen. So this takedown, I actually prefer when we have everything on the inside. So my head's going to be safe.
But as long as you're aware of it, you can still use this takedown. Control the hips, hook the leg, turn your partner, slide your legs over. So now we're in the mount position. One more time. So he throws the punch, I move in, control, hook the leg, into the mount position, widen out my base. That way I'm able to maintain top control. All right, guys, so that was controlling the distance from your feet.